Answering a 10-mark question in VCE Business Management requires a structured approach to ensure you cover all necessary points and demonstrate depth in your understanding. Let's look at a 10-mark question and break down our process to answer it. Corporate social responsibility should be part of any business's plan when implementing an operating system or adopting change. Evaluate this statement. To begin with, break down the question into smaller parts, possibly underlining the key parts of the question and highlighting where the marks are allocated. For example, for this question, students need to evaluate corporate social responsibility and apply this to either operations or change, as there is no need to do both. Evaluation requires students to show both sides of the issue and then form an opinion. The marks for this question could be allocated as follows. 3 marks for clear description of the pros or advantages of corporate social responsibility. 3 marks for clear description of the cons or disadvantages of corporate social responsibility. 2 marks for a definitive link to either operation system or change. 2 marks for a conclusion as to whether there should be an inclusion of corporate social responsibility in business planning. So for this question, we could write, corporate social responsibility should be a fundamental part of any business's strategy, especially when implementing and managing its operating system. While integrating CSR can involve significant costs and require substantial time and effort, the long-term benefits to the business's reputation and sustainability can be considerable. When a business evaluates its CSR in relation to inputs, it should ensure that these inputs are environmentally sustainable and ethically sourced. For example, a company might choose suppliers who source materials responsibly and treat their employees fairly by providing adequate wages and safe working conditions. Although this commitment to ethical sourcing could increase production costs and take time to establish, it helps build a reputation as a socially responsible business. This reputation can, over time, translate into customer loyalty and brand strength. Additionally, a business must address CSR issues related to waste generated during production. This includes considering how waste can be minimized, recycled, or disposed of ethically. Recycling programs and ethical waste disposal methods, while potentially expensive and time-consuming, are essential for reducing environmental impact. To ensure success, businesses need to implement clear processes and educate employees on these practices. Establishing relationships with waste disposal partners who share the company's commitment to ethical practices further reinforces the business's CSR stance, though it may add to operational costs. Finally, the outputs of the operating system, including the final product, should also reflect CSR principles. Products should be safe for consumers, and their packaging should minimize environmental harm. Honest marketing practices should accompany these efforts, promoting transparency and building trust with consumers. Although there may be tension with stakeholders who prioritize short-term profits over ethical considerations, businesses that commit to CSR in their outputs can attract customers and investors who value social responsibility, ultimately enhancing the company's reputation and long-term success. In conclusion, while incorporating CSR into business operations can be costly, time-consuming, and may cause conflicts with some stakeholders, the long-term benefits, including attracting like-minded customers and investors, make it a worthwhile investment for any business. Important to note, your responses should have clearly expressed the following points. Link between corporate social responsibility and one of the elements selected, either operations or change. Explanation of the pros and cons or advantages and disadvantages of corporate social responsibility. These do not need to be word perfect, but do need to show a clear understanding and should not be generalist in nature. Conclusion about the inclusion of corporate social responsibility in business planning.